Hello, good morning, and welcome to episode 2 of the SFFRomCast. My name is Jessica. I love the romance. I read the romance. I try to write the romance.
I am Emma, and I'm trying to write the romance at the moment. I am loving reading the romance. Not so much happening with the writing the romance, but
The
I'll
scales
get
will
back
tip.
to it.
Yeah, we read.
Yeah, all year. I'm just going to read all year. That's not bad.
Yeah, read all year. Just when it comes to December, it'll be,
Yeah.
then we'll write, then we'll do it.
Yeah,
No,
that'll be fine.
November. No, get it done.
No. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. I'm rubbish at nano. I try. Every year I try. Have you ever succeeded? Have you won?
No, I've never won nano. I've only done a few years. I've done lockdown
really,
nano.
It's hard time to do it, November, because like all of the Christmas stuff is kicking off. You have like a million birthdays that
Birthday.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Halloween. I'm still like Halloween drunk in November.
Yeah, exactly. Still got to get all the decorations down and eat all the candy and stuff. So yeah.
Job done. And already we digressed and we've not even started. Okay. So yeah, we will get into it.
Mm-hmm.
This is episode 2 of season 2. Thank you for joining us. If you've seen the first one, if you've not, go and find it. So we are here to give you our new book in our 6 Degrees of Separation. So last week we read
Love in the Time of Wormholes by Jessica Hardy.
Yeah, that's it. It's been a day, I forget. Which is linking to this new book with a traumatic past/incident. So this book is Angelborn by Penelope.
I shall read the blurb. Rustle. I'm not going to edit that out. We like the sound of pages and paper turning with bookworms.
Of course we do.
Okay, so he gave up eternity for love and lost. Will she be his second chance? Maya sees dead people. Since she can't distinguish them from the living, she ignores everyone in order to appear sane. But the ghost haunting her roommate breaks through her hardened shell. Not only does he claim to not be dead, he makes her feel things she never has before. Dangerous feelings for a man who can never be hers. For an angel born like Caleb, dying without a soul sentenced him to eternity in the wasteland. Now he's escaped, but the only way to stay free is by convincing his true love to share her soul with him. You only get one soulmate, and his is not the broken, scarred young woman he can't stay away from. With dangerous angels hunting him, Maya is a distraction he can't afford. After inadvertently leading a threat to Caleb's door, Maya is willing to risk anything to keep him safe, even if that means losing him forever.
Geez, there's a lot to take in there, isn't there?
There is. Yeah. I'm thinking like next section is going to be quite short because that covers a lot of it.
That's pretty much it.
We'll just like plump out some of the details a little bit.
All right, so episode 3, drop them.
Yeah, okay, so that's it. It was nice having you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Shall we get started?
We shall. Okay.
Let's go. Let's leap straight into it then, shall we? Yeah, so we've got the 2 characters. I think the book starts with him, doesn't it?
It does. It starts in the past when he's with his soulmate Viv, and it's during the war, isn't it? It must be the Blitz or something.
Second World War, yeah.
Yeah, Second World War. And it's literally straight into the action. It really grabbed me at the beginning.
Yeah, like, bombs raining down and everything, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, because obviously the blurb tells you what's happened, but it still like sucks you in that he's trying to get her to say this special thing. They've obviously been in a relationship and they love each other and everything, but she's been hurt and he's there with her and he's like, you've got to say this thing to share your soul with me, otherwise when I die, that's it, I'm gonna be gone forever and in the wasteland, which doesn't sound great.
No.
And she's still a little bit.
She's like, in an
I'm not sure. She's worried about her eternal soul.
Yeah, she's quite religious. So given the time and what was going on, she kind of is clinging to that. I think one of her priests or vicars was kind of saying, oh, your soul is this big thing. You've got to be careful with it. So she's kind of, damnation.
I mean, from a Christianity perspective, if someone came and told you that they wanted you to share their soul, you'd be like, well, that sounds a bit wrong.
Yeah.
You'd be like, is that the devil? No.
Yeah, why are you trying to do this? Well, this is it, damnation. A little pointless fact. It's the only word. So remember I was watching all those swear word things because it's really interesting. Yeah, so swear words have always had loads of different meanings to them. So like, I don't want to swear. FCUK, yeah, the children present, has had various different meanings, but damn and damnation has always meant the same thing as how far back they can go and trace it. So to be damned, it's quite an epic thing if that is that floats your boat.
So she's in a quandary about that.
Yeah.
But she does start to say it, and you're there. You're like, really, is she gonna do? No, and it's just that she goes just before the end. You're like, no, and then he dies too.
Yeah, he does,
and that's it. And then it flashes forward, or I guess there's no real
present
sense of time. Yeah.
Yes.
That he's in the wasteland.
Yes, but we do that with both of them, don't we? So Maya is the same. We kind of, when we jump into her, we're into her backstory as well. So you kind of get both of their perspectives until they merge in the present. So hers is the straight leap in as well, with the same thing that she's got this person she's chatting to as a child. And is it let me find a name, Miss Sadie. I want to call her Mama Sadie, but Miss Sadie. She's chatting to this woman, and her life doesn't sound great. Where you know the world building that we'll discuss in a bit.
Yeah,
it's just, you can feel it while you're reading this poor girl's life.
Yeah,
and she's chatting to this woman, and she lives with her dad, and you can just see it's not a good place to be.
Yeah, there's neglect, and he's obviously involved with crime, and you see. I think there's mentions of like her dad doesn't like it when she says that she can see people.
Yes,
already
who aren't there. Yeah, because so she's not 100% aware of what she's seeing. Obviously, being a child, she doesn't assume that they're dead.
Yeah,
but she knows other people can't see them.
That's it. Yeah, you just kind of accept, I guess, when you're a kid, don't you? It's like that creepy. Whenever people tell you about like moving
imaginary
houses, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just talking to the kids that used to live here."
Yeah.
No. Okay.
They're wearing matching dresses, and there's blood flowing down the walls.
I think even the kids might be worried about that. To be fair. So yeah, we see that from Maya's perspective too, and that she loses her dad. I think some people come for him, and Miss Sadie shows that ghosts can have more power sometimes.
Like corporal normally, when they need.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like
actual
already,
ghost.
Yeah.
If you're that age,
you know what I'm doing.
I know exactly what you mean. I was jumping from the trains.
Yeah, if you're listening, you need to go to the video to understand what just happened.
Yeah, sorry.
On YouTube. Yeah. So there's already that bit of world building when it does all the backstory for Maya.
Yes.
So I mean, it's like whenever you get these novellas, I am in awe of how much information can be given in scenes. But these writers that do these, they are well skilled.
Yeah, round of applause.
Showing you what's happening to Maya, and also like filling in the details of the world around her and how it's affecting her.
Yes.
But Caleb back in the wasteland, he it's just like empty. It sounds kind of bombed out. It's like just like an apocalyptic type of scenario.
Yeah, my brain kind of went apocalyptic, dystopian-y,
like Walking Dead look type.
Yeah, pretty much thing. Yeah,
except the souls that are there, because there's people that have ended up there too, other than the ones who
don't know where they're going. So it's kind of so what Maya sees on Earth, I kind of had the vision of that's what it was like for him when he was walking there. So she sees the dead people going around, and then I kind of saw it was the same for him, that he can see the dead people.
So it's like they see from both sides. I never got that. Yeah, cool. I understand. Yeah, I can see where you'd think that.
Sorry, I've just put you off the train of thought now, but
It doesn't take a lot. It really doesn't. But he does know one other Angelborn that's been there too, that has done the same as him, he presumes, and given up. They've given up their place in Euphoria because Angelborn are born of their mother would have been a angel and their father would have been a mortal.
Yes, get it right. There we go. Well done.
Patronizing there. Just what you say, like I don't pay attention to details or something.
I wrote it down and my brain is like, you're gonna mess that up. You are so gonna mess that up.
Yeah, no, I know. No, so he's there, and because if they choose to go onto Earth and try and share their soul with a human, they have to give up their place in Euphoria where all the other angels live. So there's this other Angelborn there called Ren, and he occasionally sees him.
Yes.
And he's come along and just gone like, "You want to go for a walk?" It's like,
now?
Yeah. And it's quite cool because he just follows him. He just instinctively knows something's happening here. And off they go. And he's found a way to escape it through a portal or a veil. I love the way that was described, actually.
Yeah. It's like the water, is it? It's like there's
kind of it was like a membrane-y type thing. And he lost his physical self and it was just his soul. And then he came out again and he's in his physical form. And just naked in the air, a flock of geese flies into him.
It was so cool.
That was good.
But yeah, Ren gives him a bit of paper, doesn't he, with a name and not an address but a location on it.
Yeah, that's it. To find the reincarnation of his
mate.
Yeah, so we'll get a second chance with Jenna. And there's also in the wasteland there are other angels that are like they're called the vultures, aren't they? And so that he needs to make sure they don't catch him, basically.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a cat and mouse. Yeah,
and take him back there because that will be it then.
Yep. Yeah, you're not supposed to escape the wasteland. But yeah, every intro in this I loved. I love Maya's next bit where she's kind of introduced in the present. So so she doesn't know how to distinguish as to who is human and who are ghosts unless she kind of tries to touch them. So there's this dude in like a shop trying to talk to her and she's ignoring him because she's kind of made herself very secluded. But there's this dude chatting to her and she's kind of throwing things to sort of see if they go through him. And I could just imagine watching it and that it made me giggle.
I mean,
it really did.
It is she mentions her social worker and that's like she actually believes her about it. So she helps her to do things like find a new building to live in so it's less likely to be haunted. But other than that, obviously she has to avoid talking to people who aren't there.
Well, I giggle at that bit, but on the other hand, there's somebody running around covered in blood, isn't there, screaming somebody's name.
It is. I mean, this is it. This is our link, is that it's trauma. It's such, and she knows as well, it's not just about how normal people will perceive her and her ending up being carted off by into a mental institute. It's also the fact that engaging with ghosts can be really dangerous, and she's had really bad past experience, which is one of the things that
this is another part of it. Every step of the way it's kind of you get out of one yay down that slide again.
And the poor love, she goes back to her dorm because she's out she's out of foster care now and she's at college
trying to be normal life as much as she can.
And Rosie, her social worker, has found her also a roommate who's not had a lot of trauma in her past. All of her close relatives are living and stuff like that, and it's Jenna.
But there is she goes in and there has then been a ghost loitering around her for ages and she's like, oh, whatever, just go past him.
He just ignores him. He tends to float, which is odd. She's like float about, and he's in their room. But then she goes home that day Her
After a
roommate's
traumatic
there.
experience.
She ignores the guy. She goes sit down, and then her roommate says to her, "Hey, Jenna, meet Caleb." She's like, "What?"
No.
Which really just blows her
Oh.
mind, because the guy who's been haunting her is now there and is physical.
Yeah,
Jenna's
you
like
can see him
touching
too.
him, and he offers his hand to shake to Maya, and she's just like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, I'm off. Because
Yeah.
that's it. She's ignored him for the entire time, so he doesn't know
Yeah.
that he's been
No.
seen at any point.
No.
So he's just been
This is
floating
it.
along.
Oh, we should mention he has skills, obviously,
Of
to
course he got
become
mad skills.
invisible as he
Yeah.
wants to.
Floating.
He can also charm and stuff like that. So when he came, when he came back to it, he's got a little bit of skill for healing as well, hasn't he?
Yep. No soul, but he can heal, he can charm, he can go invisible.
Yeah.
What more do you need? Other than a soul?
Yeah. Well, this is it. What is this? Yeah. Let's not go down that.
Let's not go. That's a totally different conversation.
No, we will be here a long time. Yeah. So he goes out to just to leave Jenna, because it seems like that's like the first sort of time he's kind of made an approach to Jenna in real life after watching her for a bit.
Yeah, just a bit stalky, a bit Cullenish.
A little bit. There's a couple of little bit Cullen-esque moments.
Yeah, Edward Cullen. If anybody has not read Twilight,
yes,
yeah.
I think most people
have
the pop culture reference of a dude standing in a girl's room is a bit stalkery.
Oh, yeah. Apart from him.
Yeah. But anyway. Oh no, I've lost my earpiece.
Yeah. But yeah,
I got it back.
So yeah, he goes out and he finds her outside, doesn't he? She's like lying on a bench. She's had enough for today.
Yeah. And he's invisible. He's decided to just go invisible to walk across the campus, but he sees her, goes over, and she sees him, and he's clearly invisible. This dude like is playing football and he runs into him, and he's like, "What happened there? There's nothing there," and he's just fallen over. And again, Maya's just like, "Oh, what is happening? Why? How is he physical? But I can see him." And she loses it, bless him. But Caleb, he's such a sweetheart.
It is. That is the point, isn't it? That is their meet, and then they go from there. Yeah,
there's that first sort of interaction, and his initial instinct is just, "Oh gosh, this girl's in pain and confused," and
he can feel her gift, can't he? So if he goes in, he can feel the gift that she has. Gift. Sorry, I don't have to do those things because I can't put it in italics or nothing on here.
No, that's it.
But yeah, we kind of go back and forth between them, and it's not a like a threesome three-way thing. It is, they don't end up all as three, so we have to go through the motions of how somebody gives up their soulmate, or do they give up their soulmate, and how somebody has to work with that when she starts falling in love with him.
They start to talk, don't they? They have this meet at the cafeteria, which is like the tell each other all about what's going on with them.
A bit of info.
And because she can see ghosts and she can also see angels, she's seen these energy lights that come in and take the ghosts if they choose to go. It's not so much of a reach for her to understand what he is and what he's all about, and she doesn't want to feel stuff for him, but because she's so closed off, but she starts to, because he's a sweet guy.
Because why would you not?
And she, when he tells her what he did for Viv and what he was trying to do, and that he'd given up everything to try and be with her, she was like, "Oh, I really wish I could hate this," and it was like all cheesy, but actually, oh god, isn't that really lovely that he did that and he wanted that? So but he's still trying with Jenna,
Jen.
isn't he?
I love the way that she turns around and she's like, dude, it's not the 40s. You need to kiss her soon.
Yeah. Why,
Um,
she's seeing them flirt, like Jenna flirting
Yeah.
with him wildly, and he's just like, oh, no.
Yeah, they're talking about films, aren't they? And she's sort of
Yeah.
dropping the best pop culture references about like Napoleon
Mhm.
Dynamite. Like, this is my favorite film, and he ain't got a
Yeah.
clue. He's kind of, he is still in the
Mm-mm.
40s. And yeah, it was just quite sweet with her
Yeah,
trying
she
to.
does the bit, I see dead people, like taking the piss out of herself.
Yeah, that's
with
Sixth
the Sixth
Sense.
Sense, and he's like, what? Okay.
Yeah, I don't get it.
All right then.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
But yes, so yeah, it's all good, and you've got to get to it.
Yeah, there's so much there which we can cover in the world building
that's
stuff, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's just, it kicks off from that point of them getting to know each other and chatting, and then just like gradually they want to be around each other more and more, and she's trying to help him out with his wooing. Like,
yeah, they're both trying to help each
Yeah.
other, but it's kind of the pushing 2 steps forward together, but then they having to pull back.
Yes. So shall we move on to world building then?
I think we
Do
shall. I
our
think we
nexty
shall.
section. Okay, let's do it.
So, well, it kicked off, as we said at the very beginning, with the wastelands.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a weird. My brain goes to films and pop culture references because I'm visual with that sort of stuff. So as soon as I see it, my brain goes to like Terminator, where that's kind of really kind of the buildings are all falling down and there's just ash all over the floor. That's kind of how I picture things.
Do you know what, talking of films, this reminded me of was What Dreams May Come. Have you seen that? Robin Williams film, which is where he has to go into, like, I think he dies and he goes into the afterlife, and it's like, it's all like different worlds that are kind of the realities that people make. And you know how Maya explains that ghosts don't look how they were when they died necessarily, they look how they remember themselves and things like that. And also like how some of the dead are just kind of like in the wasteland, they're kind of trapped and sorry, excuse that. Let's just give it that. Yeah, and they're kind of just not thinking, not present, they're just kind of trapped, but then other ones are more engaged, so that it's all to do with souls as well. So
kind of is like The Walking Dead, isn't it? The zombiness of people.
They don't want to eat your brains. That's the only
pretty
difference,
much.
really.
Yeah. If they have to run, they just don't.
Yeah.
There are no brains present.
So yeah, so you've got like the mortal side with people on Earth with their souls, and then you've got the angels, and there's lots of different types of angels and lots of different things that they do.
Yeah. So they have their tasks, they have roles, and so what they do kind of links to how they are and how they appear to her as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we've mentioned the vultures who are like keep all those people, all those Walking Dead people in line.
Yeah, it was weird. They're described as guardians, but to me they seem quite dark. There's like an ethereal darkness to them.
That's kind of the it's quite typical of angels, really, isn't it? They are like this terrifying guardian type thing. Yeah,
I suppose.
But well, is it too, aren't there?
I'll say, is it all kind of? I suppose fallen angel goes to Lucifer, doesn't it? Because he kind of was the first one. So there's always going to be an epic darkness to that.
Yeah, that's it. But you know, one person's Lucifer is another person's freedom fighter. He was just, it's just starting a coup.
Potato. Again, let's not start on this.
Okay.
Jessica and Emma fight.
We'll get into dogma and then it'll just all get really difficult.
God, it will be. That's season 7.
Yeah.
Well ahead.
So there's also the Seraphim and the warriors and record keepers, which you don't really see what they do exactly. I assume they're just keeping records of what goes on. And then there's dream walkers. Caleb does a little bit of dream walking himself, but he doesn't know how to do it. particularly well.
It's good for plot though.
Yeah. And then there's also what are the ones that do the destiny? They guide people's destinies and stuff.
You did more on this notes on this than I did today. Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't do all of the notes on these ones because they didn't get a huge amount.
I thought that this was quite a big thing. Well, I say it's a big thing, but it's mentioned that there's different beliefs within the angels about the best way to like help nourish and develop the mortal souls, and some believe it's by helping them, guide them to their true destinies, make them find the true path that they should be on. And others believe, the warriors believe, that it's with conflict.
So,
and
because my brain's like when she kind of meets Helix and then he's kind of like, we give him a choice. So to me, they're kind of very standoffish and a bit so that's where my brain sort of sees them all, and
I see.
We're on very opposing sides to this. I like it.
Yeah. So it's amazing, really, isn't it? Just
one book, one novella,
and we've picked out all these different things. That because he explains to Maya that what they do is they're like that souls get reincarnated until they become like the best version of themselves, which is like where it deviates. Some believe it's one thing, some believe it's the other thing. He thinks Maya's possibly gone through so much because she's on like a warrior's type path. The angels that are overseeing her think that all this conflict will help to maybe, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger and all that. And then but what happens eventually is then when those people die, those souls are taken and they fuel euphoria. So they're like being harvested, the batteries. So she's not keen on that idea.
I was going to say, not really selling it to anyone, are we?
But it's just like, that's just the way it is. That's what it is. Here's the explanation of what happens. That's how it is. I mean, that's the thing. I find it quite difficult when I read books about angels and they're very vague about what is, unless it's like angels are something completely separate and they're like what people perceive them as being in terms of a religious thing is like, no, that's not actually what we are. We're just this separate species.
Yes.
But if they are a religious thing and then they're just like, well, we're just not going to explain it to you.
This is the thing, isn't it? You've got to be so careful.
I mean, it was done well in Pestilence, going back
very
to
much
season 1, in that it's like, well, you can't conceive it. Your little
we're bigger than your brain will
dribble out of your ears.
If you behold the sound of this and the wonder.
But if you've got to make a framework for things to happen, if there's got to be a threat and there's different like levels of it, then you have to have some of it explained, and this does it really well, I think. So I think that's a lot of it, isn't it? Oh, they call it the eternal flame, don't they? I wish we had the money to pay for
the bangles.
The sample music, because that was what I hear in my head, which is
we would have had more chance of Justin from the Darkness, I think, giving us a bit of something last season.
Maybe
one day. True. We'll have to pencil something else in.
So it's very rich and interesting, and there is a second book, so I assume it's going to go a bit more into that.
We'll discuss that bit later though too. Are we moving on to some romance?
I think we could do. I think
that
kind of covers a lot of the world building, doesn't it? There's probably more stuff I've forgotten, but you read the book to find it out. We can't tell you everything.
This is it. We're trying to scale back. This is
got to zip the lips.
When the problem comes along, zip it.
So should we do romance next then?
I think we should.
The romance. Right. Here we go. Okay, so romance. I want to hear your thoughts, Jess.
Well,
sounds like you have in-depth thoughts on the romance.
Well, okay, so I don't know if it's supposed to be the romance with Caleb and Viv/Jenna, but I found it really weird because he kind of puts Viv into Jenna so much. There's like, oh, this Jenna would do this, and Viv would do it too, and he's seeing her in her, and it's like, is it actually romance, or is it just, I don't even know what the word is, but is it just because he feels that he has to, like that compulsion?
He knows that she is that soul, so he has to feel that way about her, to bind with her, because
she's supposed to be the one. So and it was just really weird for me, that one. And then when Maya comes on the scene, I am so rooting for them because of that. Maybe
I think because I looked in, like I wrote those notes about the world building stuff, I thought what was interesting romance wise was, so his feelings for Jenna, and like Maya sees it, she's like, you can see it when they're together that they are in tune, you know, like they're very similar types of people, and they're very in tune with each other. So there's no denying that there's something genuinely there between them.
But look at Hans and Anna, right? They finish each other's sandwiches, and then look what happens. It's not always a good thing.
It's not always a good thing.
It's really not.
And then like but Maya also feels like Jenna's this, like, she's led this charmed life, so she's being rooted through these like reincarnations, and life is being pretty sweet to her, you know. She's not she's this lovely, warm, kind, sweet girl, but she's not had any reason not to be. Doesn't mean you know, you can be a bitch and everything be fine in your life. That's okay. I just, in this circumstance, not talking from personal experience.
There's a totally different backstory.
Personality wise, you know, I'm just saying, like, there's she's not had any of these challenges that she's aware of. But this time round with Maya, with Caleb thinking about how she's you know, she's this very tortured soul, and she's been challenged. But now Caleb's changed because he's been through something really hard, because he's had to go to the wasteland. So I thought it was interesting, like him having that, it was almost like the two versions of him. There could have been the one that continued if Viv had said, I share my, the words, you know, share my soul with you, or whatever it was. But now maybe he's actually more suited to somebody like Maya. So I thought that was very sweet, that they see these different things in each other, and they want to protect each other and look after each other. Like it just sort of comes naturally. That's what I liked.
Well, she's kind of at the stage, she's not looking for any romance, is she? She's not. She's totally. No. He's kind of all for this romance, which to me doesn't look like it. So he's kind of coming up with this thing, and she's the other end of the spectrum of not looking for anything.
That's it. She's like
getting through life.
Like, she thinks like the part of her that gets attracted to people is broken. She's just dead. Not. She just doesn't have those feelings anymore. She's too closed off. But she has them for Caleb. They start to
grow. So that's kind of the thing, isn't it? Oh, you see them both.
Yeah. So I think I've got something else to say about the romance, but it comes under catnip tropes. So I think if you're ready,
we can move on to that straight away.
We can move on to catnip tropes.
Cool. So do you want to start with the catnip tropes then, if you're leading on? Lead on.
Were there any catnip tropes for you that you could think of?
Well, there is the soul / fated mates. I do like a fated mate, but mine usually come with fur and big ears and sharp teeth. Because you know my
what I pictured in my head is probably nowhere near what we both read. I'm like picturing some kind of dormouse.
No, big pointy ears, very sharp teeth, and usually howl quite a lot. So we know my leaning towards alphas and stuff. So that fated mates is my thing, but not usually this way.
Yeah, it's a different sort of thing.
Different type of.
My thing's kind of connected to what we were talking about in the romance, in that I'm a sucker for characters yearning for each other and can't have them.
The
So I
pine,
don't
the
like
pine.
it if it's not going to happen. You know, like you read that book and then they don't get together at the end, and that's probably a literary marvel. It wins Booker Prize and all that. No, I don't want that. What I want is the most emotionally repressed character. Usually it's a hero, but in this book it's Maya, isn't it, who's the most closed off. But she discovers these feelings for Caleb, and then she just will do anything. Like, she understands that he needs to be with Jenna, so she knows it can't happen. She won't even entertain that idea.
She doesn't, does she?
She's so sweet from that, and she just wants to protect him and help him and give him what he needs. And she just bottles it all up, and she just I just love him.
From
I
far
like
away.
that. But then happily ever after.
Indeed. There's a good romance. That's what you need.
Yeah. And I think this one's done well, because it's kind of like it's tricky to get that and also deal with the genuine connection with Caleb and Jenna. But it is handled really well. And
because there's always that, you get the bitch thinking, isn't it? It's like, well, she's taken him from her and they're supposed to be together forever.
I
mean, you don't want
that.
no bitch shaming.
They're friends, and it's just
it works this way.
No spoilers.
No. Well, okay, so did you get the second? I was kind of debating, is it second chance romance? Because it's still his first chance with Jenna in theory, and I'm like, is it like another
that as the romance though?
Well, this is it. This is why my brain's kind of like, it is kind of another chance for him.
Yeah,
but the first one
not
wasn't
the same person.
No.
Yeah, I don't count it as a second chance romance.
No. Well, it kind of was for him at the start with her, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Because then you'd count every person that had a relationship and was going in
into a next one.
Yeah, that would be second chance, third chance, fourth chance. We've had a lot of dating. This is many chance romance.
It's like a Taylor Swift album now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But just because in theory Viv and Jenna were the same person, so that was where my brain.
I think if it had been them,
it would have been.
We'll talk about that a bit later when we talk about our next book, because that links into that. There's some tropey stuff, obviously, because we link the books via theme or trope, and that's kind of where we're headed with this one. Plus
we've got our spinny wheel of awesome, so this might come up again.
But first, other spinny things, spin-off potential.
Spinny offies.
Yeah.
This is where I come in. Yes. Let's go.
Here we go then. We've got spin-off potential.
So there are two in there. And I'm looking for one more than the other, just because of my depravities in life.
Okay. So we mentioned earlier about Wren, who
from the Wasteland.
Was the other Angelborn who's ended up in the Wasteland and gone off. Like, he's there at the beginning and then that's it. He disappears off to do whatever he needs to do.
He does.
So you can maybe assume he's got like another soulmate he's got to find to do something, or something different. Don't know.
Well, there is. How did he get out of the Wasteland in the first place? There's got to be some backup behind Wren.
He's got to have a bit. And how did he find out about Jenna? He must have someone
he's got sway somewhere.
Yeah. So there's little breadcrumbs left with Wren. So book 2, there is a second book in this series, and that is his book. So if you read this one and you're curious like we are, there's another one which I've got to get to on the TBR.
But this is it. He reminded me of like Tasmanian Devil. He's very chaotic. I just had this vision of him spinning and kind of being like, but very much looking forward to that. Yes. And so the other one is the darker of the two, which is Helix, who kind of we didn't really mention in the story because he comes in quite late within the book, and he's not really portrayed as the nicest of people. Really?
Well, look, he's an ambiguous character.
Yes, he is.
Which is always interesting.
He is grey.
Yeah. And he shakes everything up
He
in the
really
story.
does. So well done.
Yeah,
I think he comes
definitely.
out nice and not nice. He comes out slightly less pleasant, less unpleasant
Less
in the end.
unpleasant in the end. And he reveals some stuff that you might have thought was one way, and so he's quite an important character in the book. And yeah, like we said, he sounds like he's got
potential.
He'd be interesting to read about, definitely. So hear me out. I also thought spin-off potential. See, I really liked Rosie, the social worker.
Okay, the social worker.
Imagine if it was like Helix and Rosie. Well,
there is the sibling thing, isn't there? So we didn't mention it, but Rosie has a sister who I don't want to say too much, but had a sister.
Exactly.
So yes, there's a whole story brewing in there.
Characters. I mean, maybe even Jenna. Where's she gonna find her? You know, how gutted would you feel if you'd been like, you know, I had a soulmate.
This is the other half of your soul. Sorry,
but it's all yours still. Do you want to share it with someone now? You know, don't know. I'll see.
Did you share it with the humans? That's the thing. You get to keep all of yours now.
Yeah.
You don't need to share it with a human. They've got theirs. Keep yours.
They did say that it's kind of like you share it with your children because that's how it gets passed down. So when you're Angelborn, you don't get part of your
Sorry.
Kids. Jeez. If that was actually how it worked. Yeah, the Angelborn don't get it because their mothers were angels and they don't have souls to share, so they don't have souls.
They don't get it. Yeah,
but
and then the human borns are the way around.
Do. Exactly. Does that mean only the mothers share souls then? What, men get to keep their souls intact?
Oh, of course they do.
Well, obviously.
Oh, really? Come on.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. In a way,
you aren't right, grow a penis.
Yeah. Look, do we not give enough when we're pregnant? They suck literally the calcium from your bones.
Yeah, the marrow from your bones.
And your soul. There you go. Add part of that too. I mean, that makes sense. I did feel like I had no soul after giving birth quite a lot. You know, like those long nights. So it's just the husk of a being from the wasteland.
The more kids you have, the less soul you've got.
I've got slightly more soul than you.
Yeah. It says a lot, doesn't it? Oh, bless.
Everything's making sense now, Jess.
Yeah. God,
if I love rom-coms, if you had that bit of your soul left.
Where would I be going if I had a fourth child? I don't know what. I'd be like just carving my knife on the pages. What the?
And on that note,
that's another thing to think about. Yes, let's move on to our spinny wheel of awesome.
Yes. Okay. Shall we announce the book when we get our spinny wheel up?
Yes, we shall do.
Okay.
So let's find a spinny wheel of awesome. So I'm going to be doing mine first today.
I suppose we should announce the book.
Yes, so you do that bit while I do this bit.
Okay, while you're fiddling about on your purple screen.
We're
going to be reading next Reborn Yesterday, which is by Tessa Bailey of TikTok fame with It Happened One Summer. Yes. She's been everywhere, but I just stumbled across this book. She's also written paranormal romance. And and it's the link we're having is going to be the Fated Mates or Soulmates link, which was one of your catnip tropes, wasn't it?
Yes, it very much was.
Yeah.
Plus it gave us and plus it gave us a really funny moment about a morgue. So
it is
that we can funny. We can discuss that next week. So I'm going to do my spinny. All right, let's see what the first thing is.
Let's see what you get.
It can spin while you're just killing time till you get here. Spin off! Yay!
Again,
I do love a good spin off though.
It's going to be tricky. Well, it'll be interesting to see whether or not you keep getting the same sort of things. Or
It will be. But I do like this because I know exactly who we're going for that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Oh, we'll hands together gleefully. All right. Oh, there's one on there I really do want.
Okay, got your fingers crossed.
I want it every week though, because that's just me. There it is. Bad guys. The villains. Oh, I love a good villain.
Lovely.
I love a bad villain.
Yeah. Good villains are cool though.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Bad ones
they're
are
a
better.
mix. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Goodbye adverts that we're not supposed to be selling. There you go.
Here we go. Right.
Your
Let's
turn.
do mine then. Oh, it's not there. Hang on. Show me. Oh, see, we're having to. Maybe you shouldn't have gone first. What's happened?
Just messed it up now. Sorry.
Oh, no. Let's just do that. Okay. Here we are. Can you see that? Lovely.
I can see.
Right. We're going to spin and see what we get from mine. Cups of steaming beverages. Which we will explain next week.
Yes, we will.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. I wanted that one too. Sorry, hide that one and
Not
start spinning again.
Don't have our niches.
That's what makes us unique.
Oh, is that what it is?
Action.
Ooh, actually, yes, I can see
there is
that.
some, yeah. I think there's going to be some good stuff in there.
It just
depends what kind of action you want to talk about.
Well, yeah.
Any kinds.
Yeah, we didn't specify the type of action, did we?
No. That's it. Right, hang on. Come on. Come back. Come back to me, Zoom.
Ooh. Mine's just bland. You've got an actual proper writer's thing.
There we go.
Meetings
control. We're going to end just in the corner because it doesn't want to change it. There we go. Stop share.
There we go.
I couldn't see it. My camera is on the top of my laptop and it comes up right underneath it. So I'm like, where's the button? I've got to find it underneath.
See, I'm just wondering what's actually on my desktop because I don't really read them. So anybody who's as nosy as I am will be looking.
I did not think of that. What are the files that are on my laptop?
You see, I might just put some on. I might hide one that sort of says,
see what?
Yeah, see if people notice.
Right.
But yeah, so that's it for episode 3. We've done all the bits. So yeah, it's a good one. I do like it. I like them all, but yeah, certain ones speak to me.
There are some that is like you're going to have some particularly juicy things to basically giggle about like a child. So that's what we want.
Yes, to be done.
As well as talking about all the very clever stuff too.
Yeah, the actual useful, interesting stuff to some people.
Yeah.
To people who are not banal and puerile.
Yeah. We want to reach all of the audience.
Yes. Yeah, so if you're enjoying this, awesome, thank you. Do people subscribe? I never subscribe, but come and subscribe, come and like us, come and join us on all of the social medias, the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter at SFFRomCast, and YouTube as well. Yeah, that's it. So if you've listened on the podcast, which is available on Spotify and Google and Apple and all of that business, and but if you want to see our faces and look in the background and see when we're making funny references to films that you can only understand if you can see us, then and or over 30 probably. God, yeah. I mean, I was a child when I watched that film. These are films I would not let my kids watch. Another bit that it haunted me, and I think I still feel squeamish from it right at the end in Ghost. The bit, it's not the worst bit that happens to him. It was the squeaky bit. Do you remember this bit when he's like down the window after it got him at the end? Okay, that was like that was the thing that bothered you. That was the thing that bothered me. It hadn't, not that it had gone through him, Just
okay, they've got him, but it was the fly
was
thing with the thing. Yeah.
okay.
Weird like that.
I don't even recall.
Don't remember. Yeah, that obviously didn't wound you the way it did me.
No, pretty much.
No.
I don't know. Darkest soul.
On that note.
Thank you for joining us. Come and see
Yeah.
us next week with more random film references and humour.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.